Hello everyone, I'm Tom Trin, Senior Application Engineer for Valent Corporation. Today I will illustrate how to set up a Parker Motion Controller PAC120 to control an all-in-one servo integrated servo motor on one from EasyMotion via EtherCAT field network. So what you see in front of you here is the Parker 120 motion controller. And I have some inputs, some outputs from temperature sensor input, some analog in, analog out, digital in, digital out. The PAC motion controller can control more than just motion because it's basically a programmable controller here. But in this illustration, we're going to concentrate only for motion controller. So this PAC120, what I have here. There is a model of PAC340 that can control up to 256 axes. Okay. So what you see here is the EtherCAT port that I'm connecting this blue RJ45 to a splitter, and then it connected to the EasyMotion all-in-one servo motor here. Okay, the model that I'm using in my setup here is an MMS 7400 BE-OB2PKN. So that's the EasyMotion all-in-one servo. Going back to the PAC controller here, I want to show you some connection here. So this is where it's connected to the EasyMotion all-in-one servo. On this side is where I connect the Ethernet port from this RJ45 to my laptop, so it can program it using the CODESYS software. The software, by the way, is CODESYS, so it's free. And what we need to do is basically import the third-party ESI file into the Parker. So that's what I'm going to show you next here, and how to control the motion using the PLCopen function block. So what I have here is the CODESYS software. And actually, let me talk a little bit more about the EasyMotion all-in-one servo. What do we have here as far as the cabling? So what you see here is a power portion of it, power cable, where we can apply 48-volt DC to it. The green cable here is basically the EtherCAT EtherCAT port, so that you can connect the from the PAC controller to that RJ45. The bluish cable here is for EtherCAT out. As I mentioned before, the PAC controller from Parker can control up to 256 axes. So I can just daisy chain from here to another motor and so forth, up to 256 axes. And then this cable here is for some inputs and outputs, such as over travel and so forth. Okay, so that's basically what cable and on the EasyMotion all-in-one servo. Having said that, on this side is basically the CODESYS development software. I already set up the ESI file and all that, and it's very easy to install it once you have the ESI file. And once you install it and set up correctly, this is how it looks on this side. So what I have here in my setup is that I have the PLCopen function block, MC. Let me go up here first, just kind of go through what we have, and then we're going to run it. So what I have is an MC power. It basically allows you to turn on servo, and basically you specify the mode that you're going to connect it to. I name it X because that's what I set it up as X right here, and you can name it whatever you want. And then you have enable. You have these two inputs that you want to tie a contact to it. And then the next one is basically an MC reset. That I need this function block just in case something happened to the PAC controller, I need to do a reset. That's what this MC reset is for. And then the next one down here is the PLC function block called MC move relative. And what that does is it allows you to tell what distance that you want to go to, the velocity, the acceleration, deceleration, church and buffer mode, and so forth. So that allows you to move incrementally wherever the motor is. And then let's go to the next one. This one is the MC jog. So it allows us to move the motor forward or backward, depending upon which contact that you use here to jog forward or jog backward. There's a velocity, acceleration, and deceleration that you can set in here as well. This function block, MC read status, allows you to read where the current encoder is and whether the servo is on or not. So number of different things. And then in this illustration, I have another function block called MC set position. So what this allows us to do is we can use the jog to jog wherever we want it to be. And then we can use this MC set position to set that as a 0 moving forward. So what you see here, like under actual position, I have these values here. Let's say this is where I want the motor to be 0. All I have to do is go in here and execute this bit. So I'm gonna, first I need to change it to false. I'm gonna right mouse click on here and force it on. As soon as I do that, actually I need to turn it back on true first. So I'm gonna double click on here, say true. Okay, now I'm gonna force it on. As soon as I do that, it will reset this to 0. So here we are. There you go. Okay. Actually, let me do a one reset because this is not, let me see. I'm going to go online. I'm going to go reset code. Let's start over. Okay. Okay. So now let me go back here. Yeah, the motor is released now because I just do a cold reset. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go here and tell it to run. It is in run now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. I'm going to force the this bit so the servo will be on. So I'm going to double click on here. I'm going to say true. And I'm going to right mouse click and force it on. Okay. And yes, the motor is locked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to set this position to true. Right mouse click. And voila. The actual position now is 0. Okay. So at this point, what I can do is to tell the motor to move 1 revolution. And 1 revolution is basically 65,536, okay, which I have it already. And I set the velocity here to be 65,536 poles per second, okay, which is fine. So I'm going to turn this on, true. And as soon as I force this bit on, you will see the motor will turn 1 revolution. Let's do it. There you go. it just turned 1 revolution. And if you go up here, you see the actual position. The feedback is the current encoder position is 65,536. I am going to execute another one. So first I need to make sure this is off. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to type in FOBS. And I'm going to do that. Okay. So now I'm going to execute one more time. True. I'm going to do this. And there you go. It just turned another revolution, which is too rapid, right? Twice as much. All right. So that's how you move the motor incrementally. All right. Let's say I want to jog. I want to jog forward. And the speed I want to jog is 65,536 poles per second. Okay. Which is fine here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this bit on so the motor will be moving forward. All right. I'm going to force it on. And here we go. It's turning forward at 65,536 poles per second. At the acceleration 65,536 also. That's what I said here. Poles per second. Okay. Same thing for deceleration 65,536 poles per second. Okay. Let's say I want to run this a little bit faster. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 65,536 0. So it's 10 times faster. To make it effective with the new speed, I need to set this one to false and then set it back to true. So let me do that. Okay, I'm going to execute it. Now stop, okay? I'm going to make it true. Now you will see it will move 10 times faster than it was before. Here we go. Let's do it. Okay. So there you go. It's moving a little bit faster now, 10 times faster. Okay. So let me stop it. By making this one false. And then I'm going to execute that. I'm going to force it on so that it will stop. Okay, so it's decelerated to a stop now. Okay. And you notice here, again, the actual position is, because I'm jogging. So that's how it is right now. One more time, if I want to set that to be 0, all I have to do is go down here and execute this. Usually you only do this, the very first time around when you set up the system. So let me do that one more time here. Let's set it to true. Okay, let's do it. As soon as I do that, you see this go to 0. Okay, so now let's see what else I want to show you. Well, let's say I want to move let's say I want to jog again. Okay, so you can do this. Go here. True. Okay, and execute it. Voila. Okay. So that's how you set up the Parker Motion Controller PAC 120 or 340 that allows you to control up to 256 axis via EtherCAT with EasyMotion all-in-one servo. If you have any questions, please call the number below, and thank you for watching.